With Maverick, a lot of you are still asking questions what it is. I can tell you there is currently no software available in real estate that's doing what our co-founder, Jifeng Ji, come on out, is working on. And he's going to be going deep on it today, and we're super excited about it. So let's give Ji a round of applause.
I'm going to bring up Brady, my lead product manager for Maverick. You guys are in for a treat. We actually brought the people who do the work here today. We've got Brady and we've got Charlene, our head of product, later speaking. And, Maverick has been almost a 3-year journey to release. Like, you guys know me. As soon as it's like even a little bit ready for prime time, I'm releasing it, right? And Maverick has been a different journey. We acquired 2 companies, put it together, and then rebuilt the whole stack afterwards because we realized there were a lot of things that we wanted to do that we couldn't do. And it's been a startup within a startup, small and mighty team working really, really hard to figure out what was the right product fit. And we really went slow with this product. 2.5 years of build, we have, 40 clients on this product right now,
60,
right?
70
60,
now.
70, which again is not the speed, that's not G speed, but we're very excited about what we've built today. So you guys have only seen Sales Coach, right? Maverick is so much more than that. We look at Maverick as a sales manager and sales coach in a box, right? Traditionally in a team, you either have a director of operations, sales manager, who is spending hours and hours a day poring over opportunities to bring efficiency to your team, right? And if you don't have a sales or operations manager, you are the sales and operations manager, right? We want to take the job that you are spending 46 hours doing and reduce it down to a couple hours. That gives you leverage to improve your business in a lot of other ways, right? And there's 3 pieces to Maverick. First, it's a powerful sales leadership, analytics, and revenue accelerator platform because knowing the data behind what's going on in your business is what allows you to make decisions. The second, customizable AI sales coach and call monitoring. You guys have seen some previews of that. We're going to go deeper there. And then smart, simplified daily agent workflows, right? How do we take all of this massive insight I'm going to show you about your business and make it easy for your agents to actually implement the learnings to practically enhance your ROI, right? Those are the 3 components of Maverick. So before I go further, I'm going to say we have our Maverick team over there on the right. This is basically 50% of what Maverick is all going to be about. I'm going to go through the highlights. If you guys want to see the rest of our suite, get a demo of the whole platform, please talk to my team there. All right, let me start with the analytics. So first and foremost, you need to know the health of how your team is doing, right? We have 3,000 teams on our platform. We have a ton of data that we're tracking about everyone on the platform. You guys receive reporting from us, et cetera. And so we have a very good sense of, for our top performing teams, what are they doing well, right? And where are the areas based on the analytics you can improve, right? On our Maverick platform, we're actually going to give you an overall grading on your health relative to the top teams on our platform. You're going to actually have a measuring stick of your performance against optimal performance, right? We're going to tell you where your weaknesses and your strengths are. We're going to go deep into analytics that we know are going to drive results if you improve them. We're going to tell you who your top closers are, who are struggling on your team. We're going to tell you what your best lead sources are, where you're getting stuck in the pipeline. We're going to tell you how well you're actively nurturing your best leads, right? One of the things that we think is super powerful from a motivational perspective is we benchmark you against the top 5% performing teams across all of Ylopo, right? So when you're looking at these analytics, you're seeing how you're doing and aspirationally what you could be doing, right? We do deep data analysis on all of your call logs, a lot of different variables to produce results like the best time to call report. We're actually going to tell you in your local market, with the leads that you already have in your system, when are you going to have the best contact time with those particular leads, right? I'm only sharing a few of the many reports that we're producing on your behalf to give you actionable insights. So if you were interested in understanding the nuts and bolts of your team's performance from a financial perspective, we can import in your transaction management data, combine it with your follow-up boss data, and show you exactly what your performance looks like month over month, year over year, quarter over quarter, so you understand all of your business analytics. We will give you lead source reporting, so you know exactly how much GCI you've made from Zillow, Realtor, Ylopo, etc.
One quick point there, G. I just wanted to call out that funnel report there on the previous slide. So for each and every source, you can see what leads are trapped at the top of the funnel and do that source by source, and then go in, take action, and move those down the pipeline. So incredibly powerful report there.
100%. We want to gamify this for you, right? We have leaderboards that are fully customizable for you and for your team against a variety of different parameters. So you can flash this in your team meetings. You can put it on a TV in your office. Gamify the performance of your team, right? So all of those are available. And at the point where you know where your top agents are and you want to have a one-on-one sit down and actually analyze their performance with them, we give you deep analytics into every one of your agents and what they're doing well and where they need to improve, right? I think you had a point.
Yeah, one other thing there. So you can actually set the goals per agent if you want, and then track that performance towards the goal every single week, every single month. And we also have this pipeline speed graphic here that will show you how much time it takes to get from one point in the pipeline to another. And you can set those, customize those, so you can see exactly where in the pipeline you're having blockages and then clean them up.
Yeah, that's a great point. So you are going in as a sales manager and you're setting individual performance goals for each of your agents in your ISAs, right? And then we're going to show you how they're performing against those objectives and where they're falling short, right? So this is all configurable. We're not going to expose all of this data to the agent. You can if you want to. We're going to make this very simple, but make sure it's accountable. They're going to receive a weekly performance email that tells them exactly how they're stacking up against everyone else on the team, right? So there's a performance element, accountability element, competition element across all of these different things. As a sales manager, you need to know with all of your agents on a particular team, how are they doing relative to each other against your sales pipeline as well as around their activity, right? So we give you very clear dashboards that allows you to sort all of your agents. Everyone in green, they're crushing it. People who are in red, I need to talk to them, right? Very simple sorts to understand where your agents are in terms of pushing leads through the pipeline and ultimately driving to ROI. So great. All this analytics is fantastic. You know who your great agents are. You know who your weak agents are. Now what? That was the question that we were posed by our clients, right? What do we do with that data? And two things became evident. The first is that the data that you guys saw earlier is all self-reported, right? It's based on an agent going in a follow boss, changing the stage, doing this and that, right? You guys all know how many agents actually have 100% accuracy on all of that data, right? And so what ends up happening is you have directional data, but you don't have source of truth data. What is actually true, right? And what we found is that the truest understanding of agent performance is sales skills, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to download every call from Follow Boss that your agent has. We're going to use AI to grade that call, okay? So here's a typical call that we would hear from an agent.
Hey, this is Andy with the Gary Ashton Remax team. How are you doing? I'm doing well. How are you? Doing good, thank you. Got your note here that you were looking to set up a tour at 118 Juana Avenue in Gallatin. Yep, great. And you would do that the 25th at 11 a.m., is that correct? That would be fantastic if it's available. Perfect, we could definitely do that. What do you like about this property? So, we're first-time home buyers, Beyonce and I, new to Tennessee within the last 6 months or so, currently renting, but looking for our first home. This is kind of right up our alley. She's graduating from chiropractic school in June.
Dream conversation, right? This guy just gave it all away on one sentence. So what we're going to do with that call, and obviously most calls are not that perfect, but what we're going to do with that call is we're going to extract 16 different metadata points about that call. What is the sentiment of the call? What is the client motivation? What's their timeline? What was their objections, right? And we're going to take all of this data, we're going to give it to you in the CRM because we're going to break it down and we're going to give you all of that data. The agent doesn't have to populate it, it's already there, right? We're going to coach the agent with coaching notes inside that, in their CRM. So they're going to get a coaching note on what they can do to improve. And then we're going to score that call, right? And once we score that call, we're going to create an aggregate score for that agent, right? And so here's some examples of coaching notes that we're going to be passing through to the agent. And so you're going to get a dashboard that tells you overall what is the sales score of my entire team, right? Where are their weaknesses? What were the objections that were coming up the most for my team for a particular given time period? And then you're going to be able to stack rank all of your ISAs and all of their agents based on their sales skills, right? So now when you go and do analysis on your team, instead of having to randomly listen to calls, trying to figure out who's good, who's not, you come in here, you sort by this dashboard, and you're going to know, here are my weak agents. Click on this link. Let me hear some recordings. Let's hear some 1 calls. Let's hear some 3 calls. See what happens. You have the ability to coach them, right? Just saved you hours and hours of work. Now, once you have identified your weakest agents, the next question is, how do you level them up, right? You could spend hours yourself role-playing with them. You could hire an expensive coach to come in and coach them, or you can use our sales coach, right? You guys already saw demos of it. I'm not going to show you, but what's exciting about this product is you're going to be able to choose from over 60 role-playing scenarios for your agents, right?
And G, we're not stopping at 60. We're going to continually add these every month, going to have more and more and more. So at a certain point when you call, you're never going to get the same scenario twice. You're always going to be presented with some fresh material when you call.
Imagine onboarding a new team member, right? You got to know, you're a portal team. You do Zillow and Realtor.com. You got to know, is this person doing ALM, right? How good is this person at having these calls? You can give them leads and have them waste leads and figure it out from there, or you can say, go to the sales coach. Have 10 practice calls. Every call is graded. What did you score, right? Negotiations, seller conversations, sphere door knocking. All of these are practice scenarios that we've already built for you, right? Once an agent has this call, they're going to get a grading email. It's going to tell them exactly how much they scored on that call and give them coaching tooltips, right? So they're going to have insight into what they did on that particular call. And you're going to get a dashboard on your side that shows all of their practice calls and what they scored, right? You're on Ylopo. You're not getting, agent is not getting Ylopo leads until they score a 7 on their calls, right? You can see exactly how many practice calls were made and diagnose all of your agents, keep them accountable, right? We're not going to just throw your agents to the wolves here, right? In addition to all of these tools, within the platform, there's going to be a learning center, right? This is an LMS that we've built out that has packed courses on how to have all of these different conversations. In fact, what we're going to do is work with amazing coaches like Dale to create coaches editions where they will inbox all of their knowledge into the learning center, adjust the bot, and train specifically on their coaching style. Right? So our idea here is we want to give you the analytics to know who your agents are that need to improve. We're going to give them a learning center so they learn how to have these conversations from the best, and then they can go and practice those conversations, and you know what the results are from there, right? So sales coach, incredibly excited about it. I think this is going to be a game changer for our clients. So now that you guys have amazing agents, all of them top ranked, right, working for you, what's next? How do you give them the opportunities that are easiest to convert, right? And we look at it as 2 pieces. The first is new leads, right? When a new lead comes in, you want to make sure that lead gets the best possible agent who can work that lead. And the way that we've done that is we've built a dynamic lead routing platform on top of Follow Bus. The idea here is that you are going to be able to define on a per agent basis what are the type of leads that person should be eligible to get, right? What is their buy box, so to speak, right? 300 to 500,000 homes in Santa Monica that are only VA approved, right? And so once you set this up, when a new lead comes in, based on the criteria of that lead, we're only going to choose the eligible agents who can work that lead, right? So let's say there's 5 agents that are eligible to work that lead. We're then going to stack rank those agents and say who is the most qualified, who has capacity to take leads at this time, rank 1 through 5. And then we're going to ping each of them in rank order until someone accepts, right? That means at the time when a lead comes in, the most available and best qualified agent is going to work that lead, right? Think about it. Right now, all of your leads are going round robin, first to claim, et cetera, to your agents. Now it's going to actually have a systematized, algorithmatized approach to this, right? Scott Hall and Gary Ashton, they ran this platform, this lead distribution mechanism for their Zillow leads. Their conversion rate went from like 7% to 11% just by tilting their best leads to their best agents, right? The second part is new leads. Okay, great, you're getting the right leads to the right people. What about the database, right? So every agent, they have hundreds, if not thousands of leads assigned to them. How do you know those agents are actually working those leads, right? What we built out is our Maverick Rules and Alerts platform. Here, we're going to have rules of the road of how you want your database to be worked, right? Lead comes in 7 days, hasn't been contacted or called yet. Showing request, 2 days, have not been responded to. Whatever those rules are, right? And we're going to give you visibility into how many of your leads and how many of your agents are violating those rules, right? One-click nudge on a particular rule set, and we're going to notify all of the agents with those leads to say, hey, you need to respond here. You need to follow up on this action because it's an important rule that you need to follow, right? And so when you press confirm, they're now going to get a notification in Follow Boss. They're going to have a smart list that's created, and they're going to get a notification. Here are the leads that you need to update as soon as possible, right? What happens if they don't action on those leads? One click, reassign it to someone else, right? So for the first time, you have an enforcement mechanism, a monitoring and enforcement mechanism to make sure that your agents are actually working the leads the way they're supposed to, because if they don't, you're going to take them away from them, right? And it's based on empirical data. It's not based on spite or anything like that, right? And so they can see all the data within the system. Now, once they're actually in the system working the right leads, we want to make sure that they're actually updating the data accurately so you have clear pictures on your analytics. With our appointment reviewer, every single time there is an appointment, after appointment happens inside Follow Boss, we're going to send them a text message, right? And we're going to ask them, how did this appointment go, right? Was it successful? Did it get rescheduled? So on and so forth. The agent has to respond, right? Brady, when we send out this test, what's the response rate from agents?
Extremely high, yeah. We always get the compliance.
Almost 100%, right? So all of a sudden, your data goes from very dirty because no one's updating it to because we're sending out text message alerts to the agent at the point in time when something happened, they're going to actually complete it, right? Now all of your sales pipeline data is going to be accurate. We're going to then send weekly emails to the agent that tells them, hey, here are all of your nudges, all of your lead rules that you need to respect, right? So bottom line, I only showed you 50% of what we've seen on the Maverick side. Brady in a second is going to show you everything that is going to come out with Maverick in the near future, right? We're just at the very first innings of this particular product. If you guys want to get a demo of the entire product, use this QR code, sign up here, and the first thing we're going to do is we're going to grade all of your historical calls in Follow Boss and give you a clear sense of how all of your agents are doing from a call scoring perspective that informs the rest of the suite, right? So we're releasing this product at the end of this month. We're doing a webinar for all Ylopo clients, I think May 22nd. And if you guys sign up before then, you'll be first in line to go live. So very excited. So now we're going to talk about the future of Maverick.
Thanks, G.
Brady, please.
Yeah, really excited to share with you guys what we have coming down the pipe for Maverick. Want to go through a couple of reports, some new customizations, and some new automations that we're building. Starting with the return on investment reporting. So this will allow you to plug in your monthly marketing spend for each and every one of your sources. We'll then do a historical analysis of your closes and your performance, that return dollars you're getting for that dollar spent for marketing. And we're going to then project it out so you can see what the average return is going to look like for that source moving forward. That way you can optimize your marketing dollars behind the sources that have the best performance. We'll also provide a kind of overview across all sources so you can see what your whole source performance looks like across the business. Next up, vendor usage reporting. You guys have preferred title, you have preferred lender. We want to make sure that you guys can see what those capture rates look like so you can establish a baseline. and then you guys can go in and put new processes into place to actually get that up. So you're getting the highest capture rate possible across those preferred vendors.
Think about showing this to your co-marketing partner, right? Think about you going to get a lender to do contributions, right? Now you actually have hard data to show them what the attach rate of those vendors are and be able to uplift the people who aren't doing it, right? Think about how much more co-marketing dollars you're going to get from this.
Going over to the customization here, I want to talk a little bit more about those sales coach calls and the outbound call grading. We're going to open up the rubrics for you. So if you want to set a rubric per source, you have one for Zillow, one for Ylopo, you can do that. If they're the same, like you have a Zillow Ylopo rubric, you can do that. Heck, if you even wanted to go down and customize a rubric for every single individual agent and adjust their weighting and what's displayed, you can do that. So if you care about motivation, you want that to be 25% of the grade, you only want it to be 5%, you can set that up however you want. If you want that to be 5% for just one agent and 20 for another, you can do that. So totally opened up there on the grading. And on the rules and alerts, we're also going to open that up as well. So you'll be able to set custom timeframes for outreach. So if yours is 6 hours for a new lead, yours is 24, you can set that. We'll also allow you guys to look at the task creation. So after a certain thing has occurred in the system, did they actually create that task in Follow Up Boss? Did they create the deal? What are the percentages looking like? And if they hit a certain point where you're not happy with it, then you can go ahead and nudge them there. And so here's where it gets really interesting. Now we've opened it up. You've created your operationalized rule set that is exactly tailored to your business. Now you can just hit a switch, and now that nudging will happen automatically. You don't have to hit that nudge button. So as soon as a lead goes past due, now that alert is out to the agent. Then you can define a timeline, say however many hours that you want after that nudge happens. If nothing else happens there, then we'll automatically reassign. Another timeline that you set. After that reassignment, now Raya can jump in and actually follow up with the lead and keep it moving down the pipe. So now that entire process is going to be completely automated.
Yeah. The philosophy of where this is going is that new lead is going to come in, it's going to go to the best possible agent, right? That agent is going to work that lead, and now over time, the agent is going to have hundreds of leads in their ecosystem, right? You're going to dictate how those leads should be worked, and we're going to monitor that from a rules and alerts perspective. The agent is going to know all of the leads they're supposed to work in the agent daily dashboard. Brady will talk about that in a second. And if they don't do those things, guess what? We're going to tell them, we're going to warn them, and then we're going to reassign those leads back into the lead router to route to the best possible agent that can work that lead. It's a virtuous cycle, right? All automated, all policing what is going on in your system based on the data and the insights that we're creating here.
Along the same lines of automation, going back to the lead router, we'll also be able to import all of your agent data, create profiles for them, just based on the data that we can pull from the system. So we'll look at what they've been doing in terms of the prices, the neighborhoods, their specialties, and then we'll auto-assign those attributes to them. You can still edit them, they're still customizable, we're not taking that away. And we'll do the same for the leads. So when the leads come in, we'll try and pull that exact same data, and then we'll go ahead and route it directly to the agents without you guys having to do any manual intervention. So another really powerful automation on routing. So much more coming. Just want to touch on a few more things here. So we're also working on a manager digest that will be in a newsfeed in-app and also an email. It'll have all the major KPIs that you care about as leaders, so you can keep track of what's going on in the business in that digest. We'll also work on new attribution modeling. So if you're familiar with online marketing and you've done first touch, last touch, multi-touch, we want to do the exact same thing for you on lead sources. So you can see what happens with the lead every step of the way, every single lead source it touched, all the way down to the close. Finally, agent workflow. G touched on it. We want to give you a mobile app, so your agents, every time they get one of these accountability pings, every time that they need to do something in the CRM that Maverick is highlighting, they'll have that right in their phone wherever they're at. So hugely exciting. Thank you, G.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so philosophically here, what we're trying to do is create a source of truth for you in your CRM, because that's what your goal is, right? Your CRM is clean. It actually has real data. Our goal is to create a source of truth in your CRM without having the agent having to do a lot of manual daily entry, right? And so if we're assessing their calls, we're looking at all their activities, and we're populating this data directly into CRM, that saves them a step, right? And if we then know what the source of truth of that data is, you can action on training those agents, coaching them up, getting them the right leads, so on and so forth, right? So we're really, really excited about where Maverick stands. And over the next couple of months, we're gonna be able to share teams that use Maverick in this way have a higher ROI conversion here, right? All of this is going to be very empirical. So we're really excited about it. If you want to see a demo of the entire platform, come here. You know, this sounds like it's a bazooka of technology, right? I think you're probably thinking, wow, this must be really expensive. Guess what? Entry-level pricing for Maverick for a team of 5, which is our average Ylopo team, $300. And it comes with 100 coaching calls. That's 8 hours of coaching on this platform
Per month.
$300, right? So don't be intimidated by this suite. We think it's going to help all of our clients. Get a demo, try it out, and we'd love to hear your feedback.
Looks like we got a question.
Do we have questions?
Sorry, boss.
We already have the MaverickRE system. When will the coaching be live?
Sorry, say that again?
When will the coaching be live?
So we're releasing the whole suite at the end of this month, and all of these features, other than the future features you saw, will be live.
And
right?
since we're already a member, it will automatically
If
be
you
released.
already are a Maverick, you're going to get all of these features.
Perfect. Thank you.
Is this going to be available in Canada?
It is 100% available in Canada with no restrictions.
Thank you.
Yes. Yes, finally, I get to say that. Thank you for coming from Canada, by the way.
Yeah, thank you.
Just a quick one. How do you qualify team? Is it just the active agents? Do you count admin, transaction coordinators, et cetera?
We do have a staff table where you can identify who should be graded, who's agent, who's staff, and then we can manipulate the reports around that, yeah.
I'm a single agent with an ISA. Will there be any value there?
Definitely, yeah. Certainly on the sales coach side of things, and we also have a lot of reports that will still work for you.
Cut the price in half?
Talk to sales.
Yeah, look, we built this out as a team product, but we've seen a lot of interest from single agents, especially new agents who are coming into the business for the sales coaching piece. So I'd say talk to us. If it makes sense for us to give you access to the product, we won't charge you $300. We'll make it work. We'd love to get feedback from single agents on the product. If we don't think it makes sense, we'll take your name down. We'll let you know as soon as possible. I will tell you we are working on some single agent product features to build out essentially a single agent product sooner than later.
Yeah, question. You said a lot of this follows the rules that we set up for it. Are there any suggestions on what some of those rules are so that our teams can be optimized?
Yeah, we're going to come out with best practice. When you get the platform, it's going to come with all of the best practice rules that are tried and true, that our top teams are using, right? So don't worry, there is an out-of-a-box configuration for everything, right? So you're not going to have to come in here and make up your own rules. When we release customized rules, you're going to have the ability to get creative and change those rules over time, right?
And also, G, I think the other point I want to make is that this tool doesn't necessarily replace coaches. Like, we actually think this tool is going to be amazing for coaches, because think about if you're a real estate coach and you have a lot of clients, how much prep time do you have to prep for every single client to dig in to see what's going on? With this tool, your coach, like this, can instantly see what's going on with you, your team members, your lead sources, all of that, so they can help you. And also, if you want to lean on your coach for the rules and all that, I mean, we're going to be working, I just really want to make that point, like, we're going to be working very heavily with Mike Shum and with Dell and Brian Curtis, and like the list goes on. I'm sorry if I'm not mentioning any coaches in the room, but like we're very receptive to making this a productivity tool as well for you and your relationship with your coaches.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, when we create the Dale or Mike Shum version, it's literally going to be their voice on the phone with your agents, right? We're cloning their voice. You know, we want to make sure this is a technology platform that they can then add their knowledge to make it extremely customized and fit into their coaching practice.
Okay. We got one in the back.
Can it handle multiple teams within an organization? For instance, we have a Zillow team, a Ylopo team. Can it classify each one of those or pit them against each other, et cetera?
Absolutely, yeah. We have a grouping function, so you can define whatever teams, whatever agents within those, and then again, there's filters within all the reports, all the systems, so that you can look at just that particular group of agents. Yeah.
I got a question for you guys. How about you guys give us 10 seats today for 300 if we sign up for Follow Up Boss, because that's a Follow Up Boss, 10 accounts instead of 5. So give us 10 today for $300 if we sign up today.
Okay, so he obviously took the negotiation skills course in Maverick.
If you already tried the negotiation.
So I kind of want to bring this discussion up just a level, right? To talk a little bit again about why is it called Maverick? Why? Why is it called Maverick? Measurement, accountability, visibility. Measure every single thing, right? Every single place you spend money on, leads, people, measure all of it, right? Make it visible everywhere, right? If you hold it a secret, no one's gonna be held accountable. But you're also holding yourself accountable. I can tell you that most really, really big businesses, I know lots of like founders and CEOs of businesses, are literally drowning in Google Excel sheets. They have Google Excel sheets on top of Google Excel sheets on top of Google Excel sheets to try to figure out where's their business leaking, where's their business making money, what's working, what's not. Key performance indicators. We're drowning in key performance indicators, right? But what is the cost? 'Cause I like this question because it segues into, hey man, can I get that for $150, right? But what is the cost? What is the cost of a person who all day, every month, all year is trying to create these Google Excel sheets for you? It is thousands and thousands of dollars a month. If you want to take your business, like I'm a very ambitious person, like out of the gate, okay? Like literally out of the gate, very ambitious. I always want to take my businesses to the next level. If I'm doing that, I feel really good. And if my businesses are going backwards, I feel really shitty. Just sorry, I don't need a therapist to figure that out. I can tell you, like, that's the way I'm driven, right? It's the way G's driven, it's the way a lot of us are driven in the room. But if you want to take your business to the next level, you need to know what's going on in your business every minute of every day, of every week, of every month throughout the year, right? Without that visibility, you can't do it. You literally can't do it. So if you're ambitious, right, and you want to keep going, and not everyone does, like that's cool. If you're comfortable at like, we got 3 people, it's good, I don't want the management headaches, like we respect that. And there's a version of Maverick for that. But if you want to go from 3 to 6 to 12 to 24 to 48, right, that's what you want to do. There's no way you're going to do this without spending a shitload of money trying to figure out what's going on in your business. This does it for you. Is it going to be perfect out of the box? No. Okay, are we going to break some shit along the way? Yes. You guys are going to constantly give us feedback to make this better, 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 and better. With this tool, there are no limits, literally no limits to where you can take your business, because I promise you, and again, I know people running multi-million-dollar businesses who are drowning in Google Excel sheets who do not have this. I've shown this to CEOs of like 9-figure businesses. They're like, oh my God, can you build this for the whatever industry that I'm in? And I'm like, sorry, we're building it for real estate, right? So I had to bring this up a level for you to understand this is not a cost center. If you look at it that way, you gotta change your psychology. This is a way to save a shitload of money on trying to have other people working for you figuring it out, and it's gonna do it for you, and it's just gonna get better over time. That's Maverick. So we already have some people that are been in the mines with us, right? We have to go from like alpha to beta, we get feedback, and then we have our meetings, and then we have to make tough product decisions. We can't do everything at first, but we've got some great clients who have been helping us kind of break the tool, right? Work it, give us input. And that's the next session that we're gonna do, is this panel with folks who are using it really, really successfully. So these guys have put in a massive amount of work. I am so proud, incredibly proud of the vision, the product team, the spiritual leader, he's a spiritual leader in the weeds, the stuff they've done on Maverick, and how incredibly enthused they are about where this thing is going. Y'all in this room are seeing the first iteration. Where this thing is when we meet next year It's going to be absolutely bonkers. So big round of applause for these guys. Thank you guys so much. Let's bring up this awesome panel.